Listen up.
It's the number one voice of the tri-state. I'm number one. It's Cooking Up 215. So let the show begin.
Turn me up.
Y'all already know who it is. It's your man Smooth. It's Cooking Up 215 and we in the kitchen. We got wonderful guests with us today. We got a whole squad with us today. So y'all gonna have to give them the rundown. But these are the creator and owners of Meskeen Originals. Give them your name for me, brother.
All right, I'm Ibn Anderson.
Ibn Anderson.
I'm Kenya Abdul Hadi.
I'm Barik Cobbs.
Okay. So you've now met the official guys behind Meskeen. So give me the backstory on Meskeen. Like, I want to get to the nitty gritty, man. I want to know, like, where this even derived from. You know what I mean? I want to know the story before you even made it there.
So what you want to know, like the actual when Meskeen started, all that type
Yeah, I want
stuff?
the whole backstory. So Meskeen, the first day that this thing even sparked up, what was going on?
Seems like you got to go before Meskeen. You got to go back.
Yeah, you got to go all the way back.
Yeah,
as teenagers.
the thoughts that brung that Meskeen up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we gotta go back.
Yeah,
Give it to
definitely.
me.
All right. Okay. Ken, go ahead.
All right. So basically, to sum it up, we all met, in high school, 18, 19 years old.
Okay.
Myself and Ibn met a little bit earlier, like 15, 16, running around in Philly.
Okay.
At one point, I went away to school. I went to college. I went to Howard University, and I became friends with Barik, and he started painting on shirts. For the summer, like 88, we came back to Philly. We on the sub, we run into Ib, and then Ib says, yo, you can take it from there.
Yeah, so I'm on a joint, and I'm sitting there telling them, I'm about to go downtown and go to this, this wholesale place for T-shirts.
Okay.
This one you still had to look in the phone book, though.
Right.
Y'all know what the phone book is?
The yellow pages.
Right, yeah.
Some cats might look like that.
Funny, like,
What is that?
before Google. So yeah, it's like I'm looking in the phone book, I find a place, I'm telling them, yeah, I'm about to go down here and get some T-shirts. I ain't running around in these streets no more. This what I'm about to do. I'm gonna paint some T-shirts. So the whole time I'm talking to Ken, he had just introduced me to Barik. This is my first time meeting him. So he keeps smiling. But we Philly, so we like
Why you keep smiling?
yeah, we like
so
this boy
funny?
keep smiling. What's so funny? Like,
Yeah.
So it's like, cause I'm talking about these T-shirts I'm about to, make, and then at the end of it all, Ken looked at Barik and was like, "You want me to show him?" And he's like, "Yeah." So Barik smiled again, like, "Yeah, show him." So Ken get up while we on the sub, unzip a garment bag.
Okay.
And he actually started pulling out the T-shirt. So everything I said I was about to do,
They was already
I'm thinking his
doing it.
original thought, they doing it. So he pulling out the shirts, and I'm like, I'd never seen nothing like it before. Just all of these crazy colors, just the artwork itself was just like, super dope. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it was blowing me away.
It was like seeing your idea really all fully flourish right in your face.
Yes, 100% done.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? They was already doing it. So that was like the real
The
inception,
universe,
the real,
man. Yeah, I always
spark.
we speak on it every time on our show, man, and the way the universe works and the way things come into alignment.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? For y'all that already had a past, you go and you meet him, and then just so having you together with him on the sub in Philly and running out, and then he say the same thing. That's crazy. It don't come out no more cleaner than that. You know what I mean?
We've been together ever since.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm talking about since that day on the subway. We've been
That's
together
meant to
ever
be.
since.
That was a strong sign right
Yeah,
there.
absolutely.
So that's why I said we had to start before Meskeen,
that, right.
because this was like maybe 15 years before we even did Meskeen.
And y'all just was running around what? Y'all knew each other middle school or just from the neighborhood?
Not really middle school, more high school.
Okay.
Places I used to hang out. He used to hang
Y'all
out.
was all around, right?
Parties, different areas.
Right.
He was from North, but I was from Uptown. I was from Germantown, so
Okay.
he knew a couple cats that he probably went to. I think he went to Germantown, so he knew a couple cats that I was cool with from Somerville. So
Right.
that's how I
So
knew
we got
him.
some likewise associates and everything like that.
Yeah.
And it just came together. And so are you from Philly?
Yeah, I'm from West Philly.
Oh, you from West Philly.
Yeah.
So y'all just met while y'all was at Howard University, but he was another Philly.
No, I lived uptown though. I moved
Yeah.
uptown.
Oh,
I'm from
okay.
West Philly.
Yeah, so I knew him from Uptown, but as soon as I met him, I went away to school. Or I might have met him after I went to, I can't remember.
I don't even remember how we met. I don't even remember.
Yeah.
You think it was Jamal Dean?
I don't even actually remember how I met you. I just know I knew
we
you
actually
at some
became
point.
friends. Like,
Yeah.
Can I get a backstory real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Their dads were friends.
Yeah, that's that is a backstory.
So that's the
They
crazy.
dad was friends?
Their dad, both of their dads was already friends. They
That's
was bulls
crazy.
from when they was
we
young.
didn't know each other through
Yeah.
that.
And y'all ain't even
But they
know
ain't know
though.
each other.
I introduced my dad one day. I'm like, Dad, y'all want to meet brother Khalil?
Right.
He was like, oh, that's my old head. He taught me how to play tennis. They from West Philly. Everybody from West Philly.
That's
Cherry
wild.
Street, yeah.
Crazy.
It's a small world, bro.
That's how I go though.
It's Philly. They say it's a big city, but everybody know everybody out here.
Yeah.
That's wild. So all right. So now you got the idea. You already had it. They already putting in the work. What's the next step? What happens now? Now is it a meeting of the minds? Is it like
Yeah, it's
how do we
definitely that.
figure out we about to really execute this situation?
Yeah, so we primarily focused on, we were like in DC, so fortunate thing about DC, we had two prominent elements that was happening. We had Howard University and we had BET. So you had two major components that enabled you to take your idea and concept to the next level. So we would make product, sell it on Howard's campus. At this time, my roommates were, AJ from 106 and Park. Classmates was
Damn,
Puff.
for real?
D.
Your
Dot.
roommate was AJ?
Yeah.
AJ
So-
and free AJ. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
I don't think you heard what came after AJ. You
Yeah.
repeat that.
Yeah, Puff is our classmate, lived down the hall. So
What?
these are
Yeah,
like,
this
people
is
that are
retarded.
around that,
Yeah.
people aren't as big as they are now, but these are people that we were mixing and mingling with.
Right. Just all these people that's really about to become these things, and even for yourselves, and y'all all just
Right.
in the mix. It's all around each other.
Yeah.
Just,
But that timeline was funny because everybody knew everybody back then. Even
Right.
like in Philly, Tariq, I was at a party with Tariq from the Roots. I'm beatboxing, he rapping. I'm rapping, he beatboxing. So Jill Scott, I knew her before she blew up. I worked at French Connection with her. So it was like everybody, in that timeline, everybody knew everybody.
everybody knew everybody. Yeah.
Everybody knew everybody.
During that time, it was one of them things where it just, I don't know what changed. I guess people don't go outside as much as they used to.
Yeah.
But it definitely was an era where everybody knew everybody. You know what I
Right.
mean? That's how you got your network and your connection.
And I'm gonna keep it a being, like bringing it forward, like we call it the Meskeen era. Just our whole, because everything, like he's talking about the first brands. The first brand we had was called Tri Vibe. We had another one called Funky Roots. We had Adoro. You get what I'm saying? We had all
let's
of
get
these
into
different
that, 'cause
brands.
So y'all had, before
Yeah.
Meskeen was even Meskeen, y'all had y'all first little couple runs with,
And
Right, other brands.
Other
Right.
brands, but it was always about wearable art.
Right.
So this was the whole vibe, but it may have looked different. You get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
Tribe
the
Vibe
different
Funky
name.
Roots was just a little bit more kind of like on the Afrocentric tip, like Tribe Called Quest, that whole Jungle
soul
Brother.
vibe type.
It was before
Yeah.
Neo Soul
Yeah,
Pop,
yeah,
but
this
it was
was
just like that whole,
88, which
you
is-
know, that whole era
Right.
of hip hop, that golden age of hip hop was what was really like popping off at that time, and that's
Right.
the way that everybody was rapping and dressing
Right.
and talking. So the vibe and the energy of the artwork reflected the
matching all of
times.
that.
Yeah, because I
Gotcha.
mean, we hip hop at the end of the day, like
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying. Everything that we've done is like,
The hip hop, it fuels us, you
yeah,
know
like
what I
it
mean?
was
It's in us.
always infused. It's just in us. So
Right, exactly. So, those other brands, did you see success the same way you've seen success with Meskeen with the first few names?
They were polarized. It was quick things like we did stuff like you can go on your phone. We did stuff with Fresh Prince. We had Fresh Prince wearing the stuff on the show.
Martin. We
Martin.
also had In Living
Living
Color.
Living Colors.
Wearing it on those shows. So that's what that brand was polarized based upon being in DC,
Right.
being at Howard, and also being close to BET.
And what was
So
the name of that one?
That was called Tri Vibe
That
at
was
the
the
time.
Tri Vibe one.
So it had a large amount of success, but it didn't have a lot of monetary success because it was a few elements that we didn't know about at that time, which was
Right.
sales and distribution. We knew how to make a hot product, but we didn't know how to take it and get it worldwide and nationwide.
Right.
So we were able to get it through our channels on different TV shows, different movies, different avenues, but we weren't able to get it where you could buy it in any city
Right.
throughout wherever
So,
you're from.
This was that phase, y'all was young brothers out the trunk with it phase.
Yeah,
You don't know the business of it. You just know I'm gonna
We
go out
hustle.
here
Yeah,
and
I'm
get
good.
this
I'm
work.
good.
You know
You know
what I
funny?
mean? Yeah.
We ended up having Tri Vibe and Nordstrom's, but it was just local, like you said, DC based. So we was in the Nordstrom's and Pentagon City.
So we
was
did a
there.
pop-up before a pop-up was called a pop-up.
Yeah, y'all was already
We call it
doing
a demo, I think. What we call it back in there?
like trunk shows.
Yeah,
Trunk
it was
shows.
called
So it was like a trunk show. But we was doing little things like, so we was getting that experience and getting introduced. You know, that was a heavy John. Like we was really young, you know, young men, but really kids for real.
Right.
And we were
Once you
in
look at it,
Nordstroms. Yeah, like when you look at the age bracket, 20 years old, 19
20,
years old, 20, you know what I mean? Like 21. And it was no like right now, Joe could do like this. He go right to the phone and he could pick up on the vibe of whatever's happening.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right there, and get a mentorship off of jokers just running their lips. It was none of that back then.
Yeah, you really had to really get busy back then. Like it was no promoting it on there and getting a million views and get, you know what I mean? Putting it in one place and getting it to a million people.
It was
you
100%
really had to go
authentic.
Talk to Martin or talk to what's my man name?
Right.
What's his name?
Martin Lawrence.
Nah, not Martin. The other one you said, my man from Philly.
Oh,
Will Smith.
Will Smith.
You said it was on Will's show.
Right.
So yeah, like you really had to talk to those dudes and really put it in their hands.
Yeah.
And nowadays it's like, man, you can get an address online and, you know, send product.
Right.
And that was another thing I really wanted to talk about too. But I guess you kind of gave me a little insight on it, like how were y'all able to really get these things on the places y'all got them on? Like, you know, Young Guns had it on, and you know what I mean. Y'all put this Meskeen in places where that's hard to do.
Right.
You know what I mean, without really knowing somebody and not being part of that industry like that.
Yeah, 100%. A lot of people always ask us, how did you guys place this product in these different places? And essentially it came from, you know, all I can say, Barik, Ibn, these are real people. These aren't people on your phone that you looking like, I don't know if he real, is he fake, is he?
Right.
These authentic guys. I would hope that I was authentic. I can't vouch for myself, but somebody else had to say, no, he real.
We can definitely vouch for you.
Right. So, but you know, we come from an era where you had to do something. You couldn't talk about.
You got to really get out here.
This. No, if you in New York, you got to be up there. You got to be in that circle dancing with those guys and say, oh, can I dance or I can't dance? You got to be in that circle and find out. You can't be talking about what you do and what you don't do. You got to actually do it. So we come from an era, you got to do something.
Action was the only thing that got results.
That was it. So
a lot of days you can microwave it these days. They can just get on there and say they doing X, Y, Z. And you know what I mean? And really truly fake it till you make it.
Right,
you know what I mean? They're like, buy my course, and they ain't even had success yet on their own time. You know what I mean?
Please.
You got a lot of that.
a lot of talking happening, but nobody's doing nothing. So when it come down to it, we was guys who was into doing stuff, and then it was a result of us doing stuff. You would see the results by seeing people wearing it, people in stores, or you would see it just out in the environment because we was actively, pursuing it.
Right.
So that's really what it came down to, us actually wanting to do it, and we actually did it.
There. So let's say, all right, Meskeen. Once you had the other ones, the names before it, when did the Meskeen part come into play?
Pretty much around 2002. I was actually still living in DC. They were still in Philly, and then Ibn came up with the name Meskeen. So then we were like, okay, we're gonna give it another run. So I'm like, all right. So
why you say another run?
Well, because we had, a few different lines.
Okay, so you mean like just giving the shirt game another run, like we're gonna get back into it.
Yeah, we were still in the industry, but I might have been doing something. I might have been working at different stores. I might have been selling to other stores in DC. So I was still had my finger on the pulse because I did another line that I learned the essential things that I needed to learn, which was sales and distribution.
Right.
So I had a line called Enduro, which I was able to take nationwide and also worldwide. I went to Japan with it. It was all over Europe. So I was like, okay, I finally figured out over a 15-year period how to actually monetize a product that you can make and then, be able to extract the money from it.
Right.
So when they said, all right, we're going to do this Meskeen, I was like, okay, that's great. They said, yo, Kim, what's up? He's like, you already know what's up with me. It's O-N, no breaks, take them off, let's do it.
Right.
So they called me up. I said, all right, what we're going to do is we're going to start selling it down here because I already got the relationships with the stores. I got this plethora of stores down there, like, hundreds of stores that you could just sell to in DC, and you could have it popping without even being outside of that jurisdiction.
Right.
So I'm taking it, coming to Philly, grabbing the shirts, taking it to the stores, placing it in these individual stores. Then it's like, I'm back and forth from Philly. I'm up here 5 days a week, and I go home on the weekends. So it's like, yo, it's becoming too much. Now I got to come up here. So now I come back to Philly, I'm like, yo, we got all these stores down there. We got to get some stores in Philly.
Right.
Okay.
So I'm like, all right. So
Can I add to this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I just want to add this other part because he is important. So
Gotcha.
basically, what we was doing, the other thing on the flip side that he didn't add to it is that, all right, there were all of these hip hop brands. So Puff had Sean John.
Right.
Russell Simmons had Fat Farm. Melly had Apple Bottoms. It was just all of these brands. You had all of these brands that had a Rockaway with Hove and, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
Dame Dash, they whole crew. So now you got all of these guys that have these brands, but they're celebrities. How do you
Right.
compete with that? So that's why we was kind of like on the fallback, but at the same time, we were actually designing for a lot of these brands. So
well,
yeah. So basically,
that was ghostwriting.
Tell them where you used to work at.
yeah, so I used to work at Sean John. So I worked there for a year. So when I went to Sean John, it was like I went there and I worked in the design department. They hired me as a graphic designer, right? But the way that it was set up, it was an open air type of environment. It wasn't like all these offices.
Right.
So while I'm there, over time, I'm just soaking up from, okay, these three guys over here do technical design.
Right.
So the technical side is how do you construct a garment? What fabrics can you put with it? What fabric can you not put on one garment? Technique, all that stuff. So the whole time they right next to me. I hear every conversation, and I actually I got to deal with that side of it too, because I got a technical part of designing my t-shirt graphics.
Right.
But then you got production over here. You got the designers on the other side, and then you got the main
Marketing and sales.
you got marketing and sales on the other side. So now I'm learning how to run $100 million operation because that's where Sean John was at.
Right. You're like an inside man.
I'm inside man. I'm soaking it all the way up. And what ended up happening, I left Sean John. Kenya left. He was working at Reebok. And it was one of those things. It was just the timing was right. Yeah, the timing just was right. Like on some, let's do the things that Kenya was saying. Just like we got to do something.
Right.
So as we started to do it, that's taking the shot of jumping back in was how do we
get back
compete
in?
with these guys?
Right.
You go to a store, what they say? Who's wearing it? What's the celebrities that's behind it? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So for us to do what we did, it was an amazing feat, right? It was really like a coup of the game.
Yeah, you like the underground, you know what I mean?
Underdog.
We just designers. We just artists, designers, and businessmen at the end of the day.
Coming against these giants who are backing
Absolutely.
and everything behind them.
So we was definitely David against Goliath when we came in. So that's when Ken really, when he's saying, yo, let's take another run at it. That was the thing that we was looking at the whole time. Like, how we gonna do it?
Yeah, can we do it? Can we
do it? We just
compete
did it,
with
though.
these
Is
guys?
it even possible?
Right.
So I'll tell you the one thing that was able to enable us to get over that hurdle, which was, and this is something that we, reached back into our youth, which was it all started with what? Hot product. So if your product is hot, you can overcome a lot.
Right.
But if you got something weak, you can't compete.
Yeah.
That's just what it
If
is.
it's weak, you can't compete. There you go. It's a line right
We
there.
already come from, like I said, growing up, he was hot. I'm not phony. That's what it is. We gonna be hot. We gonna be real. We gonna be authentic, and we gonna be hot. So we had something which was valuable, and it was authentic, and it was totally different. So how do we compete with Snoop Dogg, Jay-Z, Dame Dash, Russell Simmons, Puff? All of these people, and I can go on and on. Outkast, everybody got a line. It's like you go to the trade show, it's 50 lines, and all of them doing 300 million. So it's like, okay, how in the heck am I gonna do this? I'm just gonna go back to my roots, go back to what I know.
Right.
I'm gonna go back to who I am. I'm hot, and I'm gonna give them this heat. That's it. So that's what we did. We just said, produce this product. Initially, people were like, especially in New York, because the whole urban fashions industry was really based out of New York and a little bit of LA.
Right.
So they standing tall like City Hall. They like, I don't hear nothing if it's not coming out of here. I don't want it. I don't care about it. He like, so what's this? Explain it to me again. I said, listen, this is what it is. This is how it come. This is what you're gonna get. They have no comprehension. They like, I don't understand. I'm like, okay, you won't get it.
You gonna get it, yeah.
6 months later, he like, yo, I was trying to, I said, I told you 6 months ago, you
It's
saw.
always like that. They got to
So-
spin back now.
Right.
Yeah.
So they, you know, it took them a little bit of while because they're not used to having to come to Philly to get anything. They got everything that they need up there.
Right.
They don't have to go outside of their jurisdiction for nothing. Everything is right
Everything
there.
right there.
So what, you know, we developed it, pursued it. We got a store in Philly. Like, back to that story, I'm like, all right, we got to get something in Philly because we got it popping in DC. I take it to Missouri Mike. So we like, yo, I got to take it to the hottest store in Philly. So I'm like, I'm going to Missouri Mike. I take it to the Missouri Mike. He like, I don't know. You need to add this, take that away, add this, take that away. I'm like, Mike, you right. I'll be back. So, you know, as I'm leaving, I run into his next door neighbor who owns Dr.Denim. They like, what's up? I'm like, nothing. What's up with you? He like, what you got in the bag? I'm like, because he know me. I already know him from previous lines. He like, what you got in the bag? I'm like, something I'm working on, this little concept. Because I don't really want to show it to him.
Yeah.
So,
But he trying to get it. He trying to fish for it.
You know, I got something. You know, I'm not, like you said, I'm not phony. So he got something that's worthwhile. So he's out there with his manager. Manager is a noodle. He's like, what is this? I'm like, you would like to know. You know, I'm just talking to him. He's like, you know, now me and him going back and forth because he's in, you know, the owner's business.
Right.
So we're like, I'm trying to talk to him. This guy, the manager, is like all over me. I'm like, yo, what's up with your man? He's like, yo, leave him alone. I know him, leave him alone. I said, you know what? What I got in this bag, I guarantee you can sell more than anything else in your store. He said, get out of here, you don't know nothing. I'm like, so I said, all right, I'm gonna show you. Pulled it out, showed him. He said, you know what? I'm gonna try it. Bring a couple dozen, you're gonna see.
As is, so he ain't tell you go back to the board like Mike did or nothing.
There was no need to go back to the board. It was already completed.
It was, yeah.
You know, just, you know, he wanted something else, but the market wanted what it was.
Right.
So that's how it kind of started. That's how we got our first store in Philly. And from there, it just kind of took off.
All right, so we got the birth of Meskeen. We're gonna take a break, we're gonna get to this food, and then we're gonna talk about the life of Meskeen. You know what I'm saying? So we got the beginning. I'm excited to hear like the trials, the tribulations, and everything y'all been through.
Right.
So y'all already know who it is. It's your man Smooth. We about to get to this food. It's cooking at 215. We be right back. Let's go. Y'all already know who it is. It's your man Smooth, and it is my favorite part of the show. It's time to get into that food. And today's chef, we have Chef Ivy of Ivy Tasty Plates.
Home of the quality savory meals.
I love that savoriness, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get into the savoriness. You told me there's a little honey in there.
Yes.
Sprinkle of this, sprinkle of that.
So this is a lemon pepper base going on with like a hint of honey. We got some mashed potatoes, butter and garlic. And then we got some lemon pepper asparagus.
Some lemon pepper asparagus.
Yes.
Like lemon pepper wings, but asparagus.
No, more of like a more calm, subtle lemon pepper. So just like a
Okay.
taste of it.
A little hint.
Just a little hint.
So it ain't overpowering.
No
I
overpowering.
like that, because I don't like too much lemon.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I like that. So let everybody know how they can reach you, follow you, and you do private occasions and
So
stuff
I'm a
like
private
that.
chef. I travel as well. I do in-hosting in your property or Airbnb, weddings, anything. So also I do catering as well for guests up to 250.
She out here.
Do weddings. The list goes on. You just create whatever you want to go through, and we can just create from there and just go with it.
And you ready to rock and roll. So let them know where to follow you and how to reach you.
So my Instagram is Ivy Tasty Plate, Facebook as well. And hit me up email as well, thebossyestate@gmail.com or 215-284-7797.
Well, she hit y'all with the phone number. I don't think nobody dropped no digits yet. You the first. You the first. Listen, hit a line up, because I'm telling you. I'm going to let y'all know how this takes. Y'all already know how to do. It's your man Smooth. We got Chef Ivy. Cooking up 215. Let's get back to the show. Y'all already know who it is. It's your man Smooth. And it's the same show, same time, my favorite time of the day. Time to get into that food. You know what I'm saying? We're still here with the creators, the originators of Meskeen. Thank you, fellas. You know what I'm saying? Chef Ivy put something together for us. You know what I'm saying? When y'all dig in, please be sure to let us know how you feel about it. You know what I'm saying? Because I told her if it ain't right, You know what I mean? But no, I'm sure it's delicious though.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
it's
She
off
do
that
her
I
thing.
can see. It's real.
Can't wait, right?
Yeah.
It's dinner time. It's wait. Yeah. We hungry for real, so we just gonna dive in. So we was already, we spoke about the birth of Meskeen. You know what I mean? Those
Right.
phases that, took you to that level to where Meskeen is finally born. So let's talk about the growing pains. Let's talk about that process. You know what I'm saying? Once you rolling, you finally got your store in Philly. You made it into Dr.Denim.
Right.
So that was your first Philly store?
Yeah, that was our first Philly store.
All right. And it's crazy too because I thought so y'all pretty much was started in DC for real. Like y'all was really, your presence was mainly in DC.
Yeah.
It wasn't even mainly in Philly.
Right.
So it was like a brand made by Philly dudes, but it's out DC right now. And now you making your way to Philly.
Right.
So now when you get over to Philly, is Meskeen known? You know what I mean? Like, is this still like a baby clothing line, or it's like they already know what Meskeen is?
Right.
It's
They're
already
totally
hot and
familiar because these guys, for the last 15 years, when Meskeen wasn't out, was already producing shirts. So they were already making product and they were servicing individual customers. So it wasn't an issue of what is this or where
Right.
did it come from. They already know, oh, this is it, or this is Barik, or
Right.
this might be Ken, or they know us from being in the city and also making products. So
Right.
it was just like a homegrown brand that they were familiar with.
Foundation is already there.
100%.
Right. Okay. So, what was that part where you knew that this was something like major? Like you knew y'all was on a whole nother level. What happened that gave you that feeling?
All right, the first part, I'm gonna give you there's probably like a couple parts to that, but as far as like when we put the first 24 t-shirts in Dr.Denim, we called everybody we knew. Yo, got them joints in the denim. Get your ass down there.
Dr.Denim was the
Yeah,
spot
so,
too.
yeah, we like just telling jokers to go cop up.
Right.
So, all right, we got those first 24. They sold out. First, they came in on Friday. They was done Sunday. So he calls. I'm going to need another 48. He doubles it. So when the 48 went in, we ain't make no calls.
Right.
We need to really know, like,
Is they coming on
is they coming on
natural?
the strength, like naturally, organically, just walking in and grabbing. So they came, he called again. I need 96 now. He doubled every week, every weekend. But now, it's on the tip. You remember what Kenya said, what he told him when he seen him. What you telling him, I guarantee.
These shirts gonna sell better than anything in the store.
So,
And I believed it.
and he was seeing it in action, 24, 48, 96. So after the 96, it was pretty much like, we kind of like had that look like, oh, it's on.
It's a wrap.
Yeah, it's a wrap. We knew right there. It's on. So from that 96 that went out the door, we knew like, all right, we on. It's basically our turn.
So, bang, Dr.Denim copping up 96, 96. What's your next move? Are you still trying to find rappers to place it on? You know what I mean? What you doing at this point? Is it just autopilot, or it's still some big moves?
It's
in the
organic.
background being made?
Little things just happening. Like, I think we got in double XL.
Okay.
I remember that. That was pivotal when we got in double. Remember we got in double XL?
Yeah, that was a little bit down the line, but it's primarily just making product and selling product. So now we got Philly stores, we got DC stores. Now I'm going through the Rolodex, contacting people from other regions. I might shoot to Detroit, I might shoot to Chicago.
Right.
Since I already have a network of stores, you got to remember at this time, early 2000s, it was guys like us, young black guys, got stores all over the country. So you didn't really have to go outside of your circle to get access to making money.
Right.
You know, we had our own network of, okay, he has a store in Charlotte, he got a store in Raleigh, he got a store down Winston-Salem. It's guys that's just like us,
It's
look
a brother
like us.
in every market.
It's a brother
Absolutely.
everywhere actively selling product, selling urban fashions.
Right.
And outside of our, community is foreign guys, Asian guys, Korean guys, you got Arab guys, you got all kinds of people. So you got thousands of people who have stores in thousands of cities. So it's like, all you got to do is start contacting those people, and they already knowing because they say, oh, what's up with this? I've seen it on the video. I heard it. Something is on fire up there in Philly. What is it? I need it. Give it to me. Give it to me. So it was just a natural progression of keep producing this product and keep getting it distributed in the individual places that it needs to go.
So we got to a point where y'all was getting phone calls for the product. Like you didn't even have to reach out to every store you got. Some stores hitting y'all up like, yo, I need a package.
Yeah, it was a combination of we reaching out and then they reaching back to us like, oh, I heard, yeah. Oh, who is it? Oh, what's the name? Oh, yeah, what's up? Oh, yeah.
So during this time, is it internet sales or anything like that?
Absolutely
Able to have
No,
internet
no.
was like,
Internet was just getting
Yeah,
started.
that's crazy. Yeah, so y'all really.
This AOL time.
Yeah.
And Yahoo.
it's a whole different world.
Dial up shit. Yeah.
It's 20 years ago, and just to kind of give you a backdrop of 20 years, when I look back at personally my life, I'm like, what was I doing 20 years ago? And I say, wow, I had a mom then, I had a dad, I had both my grandparents. A lot of people who were gone now,
Right.
they were there then.
Right.
So I had no gray hair. None of us had gray. So, you know, I was 36 years old. I'm 53 now. So
Yeah.
things moving along.
It's
so
a big difference in time.
you get a chance to look at your life and say, dang, I did a lot of things and I experienced a lot of things. And a lot of time, you know, went from this point to that point. And
Right.
a lot of lessons got learned as well.
Man. So what would you say gave y'all the inkling to bring Meskeen back? And then even into that, I want to know what happened to where though Meskeen, why did Meskeen even fall off
yeah,
in the
we
first
gotta
place?
probably do that
so
first.
you want to get into that first?
get
So
into that.
what happened that Meskeen just disappeared? It was just this popping ass brand, and then, you know what I mean? I know times change and fashion changed, but it just was like
What happened?
It actually didn't have anything to do with the
the
times changing. The funny thing about Miskeen and what we've done, like if you listen to the rest of the story, we've had different brands, we had different iterations. It's art. Art never dies.
Right.
It's timeless. If anything, art does what? It increases in value, right? And a particular style or look of art actually becomes more popular over time. That's just the way that art moves. So the thing is, we knew that about what we were doing the whole entire time. And this is why we could have careers that span over 30 years. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause, you know, because we chose to put art on clothing.
Right.
And the t-shirt was our main vehicle for that. So what ended up happening is as things started to bubble, like he said, the Dr.Denim guys were buying at first. Then they started, you know, vying for our attention from a business side. So it's like, yo, you know, it's like you getting with a girl damn near, like, oh, what's up, you doing anything and everything that you could do to get her attention.
To woo her over.
Oh, you trying to get her. So
Yeah.
that was the whole joint. They was trying to get us. So the whole time, we had already business dealings with them from the store aspect. And, you know, some of our first dealings with them was so wild. Like so they gave us some t-shirts on consignment.
Right.
So they like, here, take the t-shirts. We're going, you know, we square up next Friday or whatever. They called our partner, who was the CEO of the company, Ms. Mark. They called him at 6, 7 in the morning. Not even in the office yet. I want my money. Yeah, they listen.
Some real movie shit.
Listen, crazy shit. Listen, I want my money. I'm like, nigga, the fuck is you calling me for at 6, 7 in the morning? Like, you won't get your money today when I get there.
Right.
But it was just them. They used to try to play them type of head games. So with, you know, a cat sparking it like that, you don't really want to bang with these niggas at all. You know what I'm saying? Because you like, these dudes are some fucking suckers and some lames with the way that it was unnecessary. The way you carry it from the beginning. It's one thing if you get like that because we don't pay our debts. We don't pay our debts.
Right.
This is the first interaction with you saying, after you like I said, trying to woo us over. Yeah, we could do this, we could do that, we got this, we got that.
Now you want to become abusive.
Listen,
Whoa, going listen. I thought you like me.
Yeah, you like. So all right, off the break we go through that. So we really like cool off the niggas. Mm-hmm. Like off the rip, like you know what? Let's just kind of see where it go. Utilize it for what it's worth,
right?
But we don't really want to do.
We're not feeling them too much. Yeah,
we don't want to do no real.
We're gonna keep it
major business. We're
chill.
gonna keep it just like this,
right?
So as time goes on, like I said, it's a courtship. So they just pulling out all the stops. They doing all types of things. They spending money. They They getting spaces, building the space out. We don't have no deal, no connection. They build
a whole Meskeen wall.
Oh, not a wall. They build out a whole facility.
A new facility where we're going to do the production to make the actual items.
Man, they walk in the studio, them type joints. It's the Twinkie on the cop move.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know what I mean? It's like,
get you in the room.
The joint. Hey, I left you some Twinkies and some, whatever.
Yeah, go get
that. They like, that's you. Go ahead.
Boy, you owe me.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's basically, as that went on, we, to make the shorten it up, we ended up going through this whole process with them with those types of things. But we never wanted to do anything with them, so we were pursuing other things because the brand was growing. So the brand is growing, and we like pushing them jokers to the side, like, no, we cool. We actually had a situation with Will Smith and Harry Smith. So Harry is Will's brother. Okay. And it was preliminary. They wanted to do the deal. It would have kept us in a place where it would have just, stayed 100% black owned. And you're talking to people that, understand your language at the end of the day. They understand the whole vibe. We already had a connection over the last 15, years before Meskeen actually blew up with them. We've done things. We worked together. So with that being said, it was like that didn't happen. For whatever reason. The deal
never went through?
Yeah, with Will and them didn't go through.
Okay.
It's a whole nother story to that. But it didn't happen, and it kind of left us in a place where we were now to the point where we were getting so big. You get what I'm saying? Like you get so big that you either you gotta make a move.
Something gotta happen.
Something gotta happen. You gotta have some. You need some cash. That's the one thing about this business is cash intensive. You gotta have cash, credit. You gotta have everything, all your ducks in a row when it comes to this business. It's different now, of course, but back then it was like you had to have the money to be able to actually survive and be in the business and pay your employees and do everything else.
Because y'all couldn't do like
bills.
pre-sales or nothing like that. Like these days, you got clothing lines that are doing pre-sale. You got people ordering shit before they can even receive it yet. So now I done got half my deposit to go get some new work. Y'all can't even. You gotta have the money straight up front. Go get the work in order to sell it.
Absolutely.
And then also, what people don't know about retail is a lot of the retailers, they get 30 days or maybe 60 days to pay you. So you basically might have to give them $20,000, $30,000 worth of product, and then they have it on credit in order for them to be able to take care of their other bills, and then they'll pay you in 30 days or 60 days. It's called terms. So you are subjected to waiting on your money from a lot of different people. Some people are COD. You send them 24, they send you the money. Other larger companies, they don't pay credit. They don't pay cash. They just pay based upon credit. So you got big stores all over the country. You waiting on money from everybody. You waiting. So
now, if you done sent out 10 joints all around, you waiting for all 10 of these to hit in 30 to 60 days. And so you could go in there today and all your joints is sold. Like, damn, all you sold out everything. What? We got 20 to 30 days to pay you. And they just leave you waiting.
And they're going to continue to order because they're a valuable company and they're reputable, but that's just the industry. That's how it goes.
You know what's funny? When you look at that, so when they ordered, so that first order was 30 to 60 days from that first order, say if it was the day, August 1st. Then they come back on the 8th, next Monday, and they order. Now they got another 30 to 60, whatever those terms are. Then they come the next week, and they got another.
So you got, they done got 4 orders And them joints is 60 days out each.
Yeah, but
and every joint got another week on top of that type of.
They might have sold, they might still have a few, but it's just the way that the industry goes. So you have to have means to be able to float yourself to
While
continue
you
to
got
do
that
business.
money out there.
Right. So that's why we ended up finally doing this deal with Dr.Denim.
Okay.
Because, you know, you could actually go out of business at that particular time if you can't really finance your operation.
Yeah, once you up so high, it's sink or swim type thing.
It's a sink or swim.
We gotta either take this lifeboat or it's done ski.
Listen,
Right.
so we basically took the black boat and it was a hole in it off the rip.
Oh damn.
You know what I mean? Because it's just like, you know, you dealing with people that don't really care about our culture like that.
Right.
You know, they just want to sell you something. And that was their whole thing, was like, you know, they thought that they knew the interworkings of our people, because that's all they sold was basically us. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, and you know, and just anybody coming from a inner city, pretty much down there, impoverished culture, so they feel like, oh, I got you guys. You know, I understand how these guys operate.
Right.
But we used to always tell them, we are the customer at the end of the day. So we make for us.
Right.
Because us is them. We are one and the same. So they couldn't really understand that. So over time, things just started to fall apart. You know what I mean? Because from the very beginning, it was like,
it was built on bad blood from the rip.
It was on some shit. So off the rip, it was like,
weird.
Yeah, it was a little weird, and then it's like it just got weird over time, and then it's like I like to call it like a marriage, like a relationship. After a while, it's like, you know, you just get to the point where you like, I get divorced.
Can't do this no more.
So
what was the deal initially?
Oh,
if y'all mind me asking.
As far as like how it was structured.
Yeah, period. Like, so you got Meskeen, y'all been giving them clothes, or they've been buying clothes. So now, what was this deal that y'all figured might have been the next step up? What did they offer y'all?
Basically bringing them in the business, but the mistake was we offered them a part of our name, which we should have just offered them a part of the brand.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
so they would receive money off the product, but you had no ownership.
We kept ownership. Let's not get that wrong. Because it's so funny, is like throughout the years, I've had people tell me what happened to us.
You're gonna get that
to my face, like, dude, I'm like, what is you talking about?
Right.
I'm telling you exactly what happened.
You
telling me, no, that ain't what I heard. I said, you know what?
Wow. Like you was there.
Like
I had a discussion like that with somebody too.
I just shut up after that. Like, you know what? You
know
right.
better than me.
You get what I'm saying? Like, you telling me what happened to my situation.
Right.
So nonetheless, that's why I'm like, let me make it clear, because you hear all types of stuff. Like, matter of fact, me and Reek was meeting with his one of his friends, and he was like, yo, every time I talk to somebody, they always say, oh, you lost it to the Jews, remember? So that's the talk, but it ain't, of course it's way more to it. It's oversimplified when they say it like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, to be quite honest, like, people will think, and they look at it like we walked in the joint like these record deals that you hear these rappers get. You know what I'm saying?
360 deals.
Or just these bullshit ass deals, like for forever. It wasn't even like that. We had one of the biggest law firms in the city. You know what I'm saying? Our partner Mark, you know what I'm saying? He worked at Universal Companies. You know what I mean? He was a junior executive. He did big ass deals. You know what I mean? Like, we wasn't sweet, but when you dealing with some real carnivores, you know what I'm saying? Like some predators, these dudes is certified. They know how to play a whole different game with the paperwork and just with little slick shit. Like, we did a LLC. Right. So everybody, you know, that's all everybody running around. Yeah, I got my LLC. And congratulations. I salute all of that. Like, you doing something that maybe your parents and your grandparents never did. Right. But it's so much more to it. And especially when you going into like a deal. So our deal was, okay, we got this LLC, but we share it with them. And our trademark is now inside the LLC. That's the mistake he's talking about. Right. So once we had to share it with them, once we wanted to get a divorce, what does that mean now? Either we fight and rumble to the end and scrap over this trademark, but they got the bankroll. You know what I'm saying? These dudes
So
is multi-millionaires.
they can do that. Yeah.
They can do that. They can afford to do that.
Go to war.
Oh, they like, oh, they wanted to go to war.
Yeah, they wanted to go to war. No, they wanted to go to war. That's the thing. You can't go to war with somebody with more bread than you.
Yeah.
Right.
Money win war.
Yeah, money win the war, and they got the army, they got everything. Everything was on their side, but we had the talent. So that's where, when it was said and done, we were able to walk away and say, okay, y'all could keep that. And then we went and created the next brand that we wanted to create after Meskeen. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But Meskeen was still out there. But listen, we came out from the gun bust. We did $1 million in sales at the first trade show with our next brand.
Okay.
So we was off to the races with the joint. You feel me?
Right.
We didn't do $1 million worth of business with Meskeen from the gun bust. We got to those levels, but you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
So now you had something. You was able to go out there and straight from the rip. You at an M level.
at the off the
After
rip.
just divorcing the situation.
Yeah.
After losing your baby and you feeling like it might not be the same, and you realize, damn, it is the same. We still out here.
We still out here.
Right.
And we
So what
still
was the
got it.
next brand that y'all went to the trade show with?
Oh, it's Mizan or Couture.
Say it again for me.
Mizan or Couture.
Okay.
So
And what did y'all do with that?
So we went heavy on just like product, top to bottom,
Everything.
outerwear, everything.
Okay.
We even had like cashmere sweaters and shit. In
Belt
that
buckles, socks,
belt buckle, socks, all
Jeff
type.
hats,
Man, we was
hats.
Yeah.
Yo, we
Scully's
tore their
line.
ass up. Listen, they still catching up. Matter of fact, so the cargo pants that everybody wear right now.
Right.
So it's a pocket. It's our design.
Right.
Everybody and their grandmother go pull that shit up, put them on the table. I'll show you when we did them Jones 20 years ago. It's all, but it's cool. It's like, you know, we've been out the
It's
game.
part of
It's
the
like
game.
it's a part of the game. It's like, listen, but it just shows the influence and the level and how advanced we was. That's all I was. All right, listen, I don't got no problems with any of these young brands that's doing their thing and took some inspiration. You know, knowingly or unknowingly. You understand what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is that we was so on our game and
ahead of the time.
oh man, we was, listen, I ain't gonna lie, when we did that joint, because we had a point to prove. We just lost our baby.
Yeah, you coming out the joint swinging, out the
Oh,
gate
man,
swinging.
listen.
Swinging, stabbing, shooting.
Everything. Yeah, we're gonna show you.
That's what that was
Trying to get
it.
this check.
Yeah, we're gonna show you.
Yeah, so we came back strong.
So,
Okay.
and at that time too, Meskeen was basically what you see here.
Right.
And we didn't actually get a chance to evolve it and let it elevate because the marriage got messy
Yeah, things
early on.
Now you're doing other things where, rather than worrying about the art and the clothing, you know what I
But
mean?
no, we were focusing on this, but by the time the marriage got messy, they just focused on that. Now we got to focus on a whole nother tops, bottoms, hats, everything.
Right.
So they got stuck right there, and then we took Mizan where Meskeen was going to go.
Right.
It was going to evolve, but we never got a chance to
Those
let
steps
that
that you
evolve.
planned to take with
Yes.
Meskeen, you just took it with the next brand.
With the next brand.
Okay.
Yup.
And the unfortunate part about it was that we created such a monster with this that we were really battling ourselves because the people were already making a lot of money with this particular brand.
Right.
So to tell them now, I got something new when what they had already was
It
already,
was already
working.
we want that working.
It's like, I like y'all, but man,
You want
this
the
is
blue
really
bag.
working.
You want the blue bag.
We want the other stuff.
You want the blue tape?
Take this other stuff back.
Blue tape. We trying some red tape. They like, I don't know about red
They
tape.
still on the old work.
Yeah. Give me that other stuff you had. Give me some more of
Yeah,
that.
get that one from last week. I don't want to do it.
Right.
So, all right. So you get to that point, but you still do an M. So, but now we back at the table, and you're not even pushing that brand. You back with the Meskeen.
No,
Now, so you saying
Right, right now.
now,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
So pretty much in 2020. So it was. So when we lost the brand, you know, it's just a thing that I do. I look up trademarks.
Let me, man. They gonna be like, yeah, man, gotta cut the joint real fast. I ain't gonna cut it, man. We getting raw and uncut, man. I'm just go ahead and fix that joint. Yeah, man, that's all.
go. All
We
right,
real
there we
players,
go.
man.
I like that.
That's all.
But
Let's get to it.
nonetheless, it was like 2020 came around, and ever since we had parted ways with those guys, and we actually sold our interest in the brand. So when people say what they say, it was definitely a bunch of, you know, hostility between us, but it was
Right.
still business at the end of the day. Them guys can't couldn't just walk away and do what they wanted to do because we still had a major interest in Meskeen. So we basically, we chose to say, all right, we're not going to fight. So we're going to sell these guys our interest in the brand, and we're going to go do this next brand.
Right.
So from that point on, though, I looked at the trademark twice a year. So we sold it in 2005. So in the beginning of 2005, listen.
15 years.
So check it out.
He's adamant.
6 months later, I was looking up the trademark. I was looking up the trademark. Let me see if these suckers slipping. Boom, they ain't slipping.
They still got it.
The next year, 6, 7, 8, all the way up till 2020. When 2020 come in, of course, you know what's going on with the pandemic.
Right.
All that. We get a blessing out of nowhere. The brand is available. The trademark is there. After all this due diligence and searching, you know what I'm saying? It's here. Boom.
You found your baby.
Found it. Boom. Yo, fellas, check it out. This is what it is. We can get this joint back. Yada, yada, yada. Oh, let's go. Everybody on go. Let's go.
That's crazy.
So, we went about the business of, securing everything and taking care of, the legal part
work.
with the lawyers, doing everything that you got, you have to do in order to, make sure that you actually could be in business.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right. Do real business.
Yeah, do real business.
Right.
So, that's what happened at that particular point. And 2020 was a wash, so we really didn't get to do anything except for spend money.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fees and just trying to, set things up. We started talking to the factories.
So you getting that new foundation.
Yeah.
And that thing concrete this time.
Yeah.
Right.
At this point, y'all done learned so much through all these years. And you telling me the whole reason, for this whole rebirth situation was literally just waiting on that joint to just pop up. And you've been searching every day, every 6 months. That's crazy. And that's some real, what would you call it? It's determination. It's like, you know what I mean? Yeah, resilience for real. To really overcome that, to wait for that. Yeah, commitment. That's your baby. I'm not leaving without that joint. You know, I'm not checking out without this thing. Like, we're going to get it one way or another. This is going to be ours before we go.
Absolutely. Listen, it's a legacy with this thing. People could say, well, you could have did it with something else. If you could do it with something else, it would have been done. You know what I'm saying? Like, this thing is, like we talked before, it was an era. It was other brands that led up to Meskeen to make it what it was. So it's like, okay, you could do this, you could do that, but there's nothing like that. And even our city, if we look at our city at the time that Meskeen popped, it brought so many of us together through this brand. You know what I'm saying? Even when we had our situation set up, our joint was a family. People got married. You know what I'm saying? Within our
organization.
Man, listen, marriage is happening. This thing was a serious situation. So when you affect people like that, it's hard to say, I'm gonna just walk away from that and leave the legacy up to these dudes that fumbled the ball. And you know what I'm saying? Made a joke and a mockery of what we set out to do, which was to make sure that people knew that, and really our people, that the overall thing is, we want people to know that art and fashion are one. But when it came to our people, the bigger picture is we want our people to aspire. We want to not just inspire, but we want you to aspire to a higher level. We wanted our people to know, listen, you bought them t-shirts, you are an art collector. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
You ain't have to go in no big gallery and spend, $50,000 that you don't have on a painting.
Right.
You came and got a painting on a t-shirt and you paid $100 something for the joint at the time.
Right.
So it's like, now we get to do that. That's something that we didn't get to do before. Now we get to really bring everybody full circle.
Right.
If you really look at it, we made art hot.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm saying it. Meskeen. Me and my guys, we made art what it is. So your favorite rappers, they wasn't rapping about no art till we came. At all. Go listen, Go through the discography. I don't care who you talking about. It's a date when Jay start talking that shit. It's a date when Swizz start copping and buying. And it's after us. This is a Philly thing.
Right.
And we proud of that. You know what I'm saying? We not gonna stand down, back down. I'm saying it right here and now. You know what I'm saying? Like we did LeBron James when he had his first sneaker and he had his whole collection. We did it with Sneaker Villa on Broad Street. Brian was 18.
Right.
We went to Brian party, nigga was 21. We asking Rich Paul. So Rich grabbed 10 paintings. In his crib, he just was different like that. He was early.
Right.
So we like, damn, we can't get no Jones in Brian crib. Now we had 2 Jones in Brian crib, but we gifted them to him. We trying to get him to fill his home. Like, nigga, you wear the shirts?
Right.
Feel it? But what I'm saying is that even at that point, with dudes you connected with, they wasn't buying art for their homes. It wasn't a thing. You understand what I'm saying? So Meskeen, like,
it
to go back
you to see what art can be. Like, damn,
that's the whole
vibe, that feeling you get from that Meskeen shit. It's like a walking Basquiat. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And it opened your eyes to seeing it. You know what I mean? You don't start vibing with shit until it's introduced to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you like cars, it was a car that made you like cars. You know what I mean? You don't wake up, I fuck with cars, I love cars. You get in a good one, and then that joint, man, I love the joint so much, I'm interested now.
Right.
I want to go see more cars, how that's one drop.
Right.
You know what I mean? So when we see that art, it's like, damn, that shit, the colors, the way they hitting me. Now you see it everywhere. And I feel like it was that point though when the Meskeens happened. Then it was the airbrush shirts. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now everybody was turning their shirt into a canvas. You know what I mean? Now everybody getting goofy and freaky with it.
Right.
And I feel like right now, no lie, we at that point.
Right.
Like it's perfect.
It's
You know what I
perfect.
mean? Because
Great time.
art, like the NFT shit.
Everything.
Y'all can get so freaky in so many ways with the way everything is set up now.
Yeah.
It's retarded. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's like perfect timing.
Yep.
Because had you been out during that time, you might have been settling. Now you at that time, you could come out, jump right in the races.
Right.
And it's like, I'm looking for that. I want that. I can't wait. I need mine. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to throw my joint on with some jeans ASAP and really, what? Man, I need the vibe back. I need the vibe back. But it's just that time, like, where everybody appreciates those extra things. You know what I mean? And especially all the clothing brands, even just in Philly by itself, that's popping. Like, dudes is really going out here and they doing their thing. You know what I mean? You got Humble, you got
Paradox.
Yeah, Paradox. You got Banny Peru, Milano.
Milano,
Everybody flourishing with these brands. Like, and I'm not even on no small scale shit.
Right.
And y'all dudes, you talking about vets. You done did it without the internet.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You talking about using LeBron and Will Martin on their shows, on movies, on all the rappers. Without the internet, these niggas would never be able to do that. You know what I mean? Let me put that out there now. If it wasn't for that, a lot of people would fucking probably just wash out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cause you ain't no on footwork like that. That's some real on footwork. So if you can do the footwork, and now you got the internet too, you a soldier. Right. You know what I mean? You are unstoppable now.
Technology.
The technology is like Wallow say, man, this shit is $1 million thing in your hand.
Yeah.
You got this, you can make a mill. So if you already got something that was already flourishing so crazy without the handouts, now sweet.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what I mean?
Put the work in now.
Yeah, now it's like, let's just get busy.
Get busy.
Just get busy. So what are your plans right now coming out the gate with Meskeen?
Well, basically, it's just to, just really we want to touch the people again. You know what I'm saying? Like we did this 100 Days of Summer campaign, and all it's been about is really like going back to the basics, getting with the people. So his brother, Kenya's brother Muhammad, he owns a pizza store that's kind of like nationally and internationally known right now. It's called Down North Pizza.
Oh, I like Down North Pizza. That's my shit. Yeah.
So that's Ken little bro.
Yeah, that's the joint
that's our
though.
shit too.
And he used to work in Meskeen.
He used to work in Meskeen.
Oh yeah, for real?
Yeah.
That deep dish ain't no joke, you know what I mean?
I'm saying?
I love a
Legacy.
deep dish pizza, that joint.
Yeah, so basically we did like a soft launch there. We did a mural. And that's what it's been about, just being active. We just did a tea party at the studio where we produce everything at. So it's all about touching, you know what I'm saying, the people. But we got something huge.
You gonna give it to us?
In the cooker.
Nah, we
can't give us that.
I'm gonna give it to you when it get a little closer. But listen, I'm just letting y'all know we got something huge. You know what I mean? It's about to happen for the brand. And you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about within the next, what's this, August? Next month. So, you know, it's a short
I'm gonna be
period of time. So we got something huge that's in the cooker for the brand. And it's going to really put it
on that.
It's going to put it where, you know,
everywhere it's supposed to be.
It's going, listen, globally, people going to see Meskeen again. And these days and times, via the technology, the whole 9 yards, you know what I'm saying, and have access, you know, to the brand again. So that's really what it's about. It's just about, putting the product back out there, really touching the people again, because we really want to make sure that, you know, the authenticity is there. You know what I'm saying? It's not a lot of authentic things out there. So for us to come in, we coming in with respect though. We ain't coming in on disrespect of anything.
You coming in humbly, but you understand
humbly,
your
but
position.
we understanding that thing, okay, I'm happy for anybody that made their bones off of whatever way they had to make their bones. So if they did it all through the phone, listen, we saluting that. I'm with y'all, and especially if you from Philly, you get what I'm saying? Whether you know us or not. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole thing is, if you from you from our city, and you out here making it happen, this a rough joint here. You know what I mean? Niggas from everywhere be like, Philly? Man, they back the fuck.
They get stressed for you.
Man, you from Philly? They do that. So it's like, we just want to be able to inspire that next generation again. You know what I'm saying? Like when things start to pick up, to move, like we want to be able, like we had young cats that was younger than us that worked for us. And now these guys is off doing major things. I'm talking about doing major things, like several of them. So at the end of the day, why wouldn't I want to take some of these youth that's getting caught up in the mix out here,
put them in position?
Yeah, listen, drill these shirts, nigga. Pop at that, bang at that. Yeah, guess what? Y'all ops now is the dudes that's saying that you can't do it or you shouldn't do that. Why you doing that nut ass t-shirt shit? Nigga, because I'm trying to live and I'm trying to be something other than what everybody else expects me to be. We need the kids to be involved. You know what I'm saying? The teenagers, the young adults in their early 20s, you know, that's the thing. We really want to bring this thing full circle and really establish the legacy of Meskeen Originals properly. You know what I mean? It's a personal thing for us. You know, we all have children and you know, grandchildren, everything. But in reality, this is for us. This is for the city. We ain't going nowhere. We're not going
bringing it home.
We bringing it home. We're not going to bubble this thing up and then be like, oh yeah, we in LA with we only make this out of LA now. Oh, we got an atelier in France and Paris. Get the fuck. No, we're gonna keep it right here because, you know, the first thing is to inspire, you know, ours first. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it's
and bring
about.
That coach, just bringing that coach and that vibe back.
Yeah, 100%. You got to think of it as we come from a community. I know Ib, you know, from a long time ago, he had a mom and a dad. I had a mom and a dad. He got a mom and a dad. So we come from family. So that's what it's about. You know, I can look back and say his dad can check me, my dad can check him. It's a community. So we got to be able to say, all right, 20 years later, his son works at my spot. So it's like, all right, he's gonna respect me, I'm gonna respect him, but he knows that, you know, I'm his uncle. So we gotta do right. And it's about doing good and doing right. And Meskeen is a part of that legacy of doing good and doing right. We came up, you know, we came up in a rough area. We came up in the 80s. It was nothing but drugs. That's what it was.
So it's just bringing that culture, but at the same time bringing that sense of community.
You
know what I'm saying?
You got to show another
really
way.
To clean up the streets type shit, like really bring that vibe. Like come focus on something good, something light. We bring some light to the city.
It gave us prison and death.
Yeah,
So
let's try this.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's try
Why not?
Let's try some art and fashion. Let's try art and fashion.
Yeah,
There's no
why not?
success in failure. This is all losing.
Exactly.
When you go to jail and when you die.
Right.
There's no success in that. So we want to be successful. And also we want to have a good ending. All right, we had rough times. We started off good, rough times. What's your ending going to be like?
Yeah, you don't
No,
want to
we
be
don't want
rough
to be
the whole
like,
time.
oh man, what happened at the end?
Let's elevate.
It's a messed up story.
The whole story, man.
Right. No, we're going to have a good ending, God willing. We're going to do what's right in the middle, in the beginning, and at the end.
Right.
So that, we can have a legacy. People know us all over the country and all over the world.
Right.
We went to Vegas 6 months ago. They like they seen the ghost. Like, yo, I remember
Back from
you.
I think that's the energy everybody probably giving you, because I know I felt that way when I seen it. I'm like, yo, I hit on like, damn, what you about to do? I'm pre-order. I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm excited. Like, bro, they used to be my shit. Like, that meant a lot when I was young. You know what I mean?
I think everybody got a Meskeen story though.
Yeah, and you probably everybody do, especially you from that dollar party era.
Yeah.
You born with your joint. You know what I'm saying? Fresh Timbs and a Meskeen shirt, some Dr.Denim. You know, listen.
Right.
Everybody know.
Yeah.
So tell everybody where they can keep up with y'all, follow y'all story, keep up with, I guess when y'all about to start dropping and everything like that. Let them know where to follow y'all at.
They can go to our Instagram page for the brand is Meskeen.originals. My page is the Entrepreneur. Of course, it's an @ on the front of all of them.
Gotcha.
And then
my page is Kenya Abdul Hadi, my name. And then also I have a furniture store which I sell mid-century modern furniture, do a little bit something different, and that's called the Modern Republic.
That's dope.
And mine is I am Meskeen, IAMMISKEN Meskeen. That's my Instagram page.
matter of fact, we have one more page too that they can follow, which is the actual design studio where we create, everything that Meskeen is putting out, and that's Pyramid Studios.
Okay.
So just Pyramid Studios. So you can follow that, and then you could catch us. We have an e-commerce site up, and we developing it, but it look good.
Is it some work available on there?
Yeah, some work available on there. And
Shoot me the joint. I gotta get mine.
Yeah, so that's
got to get mine.
that's www.meskeen-originals.com.
Okay.
So so you can catch us in all them places.
I'm excited for y'all journey,
Thank
man. I'm
you, bro.
excited to see
Appreciate
what y'all
that.
do.
Thank you.
Thanks for
I'm
having
sure it's
us.
gonna be nothing but positive. You know what I mean? I'm really looking
absolutely.
forward to it. I can't wait to see like that, because it's gonna be more stories. You know what I mean? We gonna have to do this. Like a year go by, come back like, damn, who y'all done dealt with now?
Absolutely.
Like, we got to do it again.
Absolutely.
I had one more question real quick. I just thought about.
Okay.
So, is each shirt hand painted?
One-on-one.
So when y'all was doing these 96 joints, you was getting busy on every shirt.
Yeah, it's still the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's
You
still
can't beat that.
one-on-one.
You can't beat that.
That was our
That's
way
hard.
of getting into that market. Like you said, we was dealing
Yeah.
with giant companies. So what are we gonna do that's
It's so
different than
much
them?
love and care in it. You can't even.
Right.
And people, they don't understand how energy works, man. You literally putting energy into that.
Yeah.
So it comes across, and you know what I mean. When it's other shit and it's just printed on, you don't get the vibe.
Right.
That's why you get that vibe, man.
The whole neighborhood got the same shirt with another brand. Come to us.
Yeah, it's
I got
one-on-one. Ain't
he got
nobody
a
gonna
different
have
he got
this
a different
one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
everything looks
specialize
different.
in.
Yeah, that's
Everything-
energy.
Yeah, that's right. Energy, you're right.
That's energy. All right, man. Listen, I really appreciate having y'all.
Thank you for having us.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we
this
enjoyed
meal, Chef
Yes,
Ivy,
listen.
baby.
yes.
We enjoyed the
Listen.
talk, and we definitely enjoyed the meal.
I'm still about to get in. You know what I mean? We had
I'm
to
about
get
to
back to the
crush
talk,
that.
but that thing hit.
Yeah.
Everything.
Great.
The silent,
I ain't played though.
mash. The silent assassin.
I ain't know I was that hungry though.
He said, I didn't even know I was that
I
hungry.
ain't know I was that hungry. No, it was perfect.
No, that's right.
Listen,
That salmon is
it was great, but
Bon appetit.
yeah, thank you, baby. Listen, this your boy Smooth. We got the Meskeen gang in the building. It's cooking up 2 and 5. We out here.